This is Self-Esteem Revolution, the mindset shift that will transform your life. Written by Floyd, narrated by Branston Meiring. Introduction. Understanding the importance of self-esteem and the negative consequences of low self-esteem. Anyone who is interested in learning more about the influence that self-esteem has on the mental and emotional health of an individual should listen to the audiobook titled Self-Esteem Revolution, the mindset shift that will transform your life. This audiobook is an excellent resource for anyone who is interested in this topic. The entire evaluation of a person's value is referred to as their self-esteem. It is a vital component of mental health. It has the potential to have a big effect on how a person sees himself or herself and on how well he or she can deal with the problems of everyday life. On the other hand, having low self-esteem means that you always think negatively and critically about yourself. It is possible for this to result in a lack of self-confidence, feelings of inadequacy, or both. Some mental health problems, like anxiety and depression, have been linked to not having enough respect for oneself. This audiobook goes into detail about how important it is to have a high sense of self-worth and what can go wrong if you don't. It also has ways to boost self-esteem and learn how to deal with problems. This is an audiobook that anyone who wants to learn more about the significance of self-care and self-compassion and have a better understanding of the influence that self-esteem has on mental health should definitely consider picking up. This audiobook delves into the different factors that can contribute to low self-esteem and provides practical tips for improving it, such as setting realistic goals, learning to accept compliments, and focusing on one's strengths rather than weaknesses. The importance of self-compassion and self-care in building self-esteem is also discussed. Self-compassion consists of treating oneself with the same kindness, understanding, and forgiveness that one would offer to a friend. Self-care, on the other hand, is the practice of taking care of oneself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Real-life examples and case studies are used throughout the story to illustrate the ideas discussed and show how to use them in one's own life. In short, this audiobook gives an in-depth look at the subject and is a good resource for anyone who wants to improve their self-esteem and overall health. It is an easy-to-understand guide that will help you better understand the importance of self-esteem and how to build it. Keep in mind that the information in this audiobook is not meant to replace the services of a trained medical or mental health professional. Reach out to a crisis hotline or a registered mental health practitioner if you're having trouble. Do not use the information in this audiobook to try to diagnose or treat any medical or mental condition. Before making any health-related decisions, you should talk to a doctor. To the extent that any decisions are made based on the contents of this audiobook, neither the writers nor the publishers may be held liable. Chapter 1. Recognizing and Overcoming Negative Thought Patterns. Welcome to the first chapter, where we'll talk about understanding the importance of self-esteem and the negative consequences of low self-esteem. Recognizing and changing unhelpful ways of thinking is the subject of this chapter. Habitual negative ways of thinking can have a negative impact on our psychological and emotional health. They can lead to feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and poor self-esteem. These negative ways of thinking can also lead to mental health problems like depression and anxiety. All or nothing thinking is a prevalent form of pessimistic thought. In this view, there are no shades of gray. Everything is seen as black or white. If one makes a mistake, for instance, they could feel like a total failure instead of realizing that they only need to learn from it and improve for the next time. Another typical unfavorable way of thinking is called personalization. This is the act of taking on responsibilities that are not one's own. It's easy to go from "it's not my duty and I can help find a solution" to "it's my fault" when someone in your team misses a deadline, for example. A third prevalent negative thought habit is catastrophizing. This is when a person exaggerates the negative repercussions of an event. A person could worry, "I'm going to miss work," rather than "I'll be a bit late, but it's not the end of the world," if they run late for an appointment. The first step in changing these destructive mental habits is becoming aware of them. Negative thinking patterns can be challenged once they are recognized. You may accomplish this by asking
Sample complete. Ready to continue?